What's up, new interns? So this video, July blues, okay? Because what phase are you at right now? You just started an orientation, or you took your BLS class, or I just had my employee health appointment since I'm starting as a PGY2 at a different institution. So I had to get my blood drawn and all this stuff, and had to shave so they can check out my fit test for my N95 that I'll never wear because I'm in radiology. But anyways, right now you're feeling some feels, okay? And these feels are gonna they're gonna get worse July 15, July 17. And that's why I want to talk about this stuff now, so that maybe you watch this before it happens. So this really is for the person who kind of maybe went unmatched and had to soap, or didn't get the position that they wanted, or they matched number 12 or 7 in their rank list, or 31, which I've heard of. And what's going to happen is, you didn't get what you wanted, you were bummed for a few weeks, few months, and now, because you're going to be a doctor, and because this week you're going to go through orientation and they're going to feed you, you made it so far. Random people are going to come up to you, congratulations, you're a doctor now. They're going to give you a badge, it's going to say doctor, parking spot, oh man, even a free meal. Can you believe that? They're going to compensate you for your time, for your 80, 90-hour weeks, with a $10 meal, a $12 meal, maybe even a $20 meal at the hospital cafeteria. It's not Texas Roadhouse, but hey, it's better than Taco Bell. So, you're privileged. What else is going to happen? You're going to feel excited. I'm going to be a doctor, all right? And you are, and it's great. And then, if this wasn't your first pick program, or maybe you're unsure of what specialty you ended up in or something, the first week of July, the second week of July, and then you're going to get those July blues, all right? Just like it happened to me. It's going to happen to you. 3 weeks into July, you're going to look around, you're going to be like, what am I doing here? How did I end up here? This isn't what I worked for, okay? And you might think to yourself, man, I want to quit. I want to transfer. Well, you better slow down, all right? Because you gotta follow the rules, all right? So let me just tell you a little bit about when I soaped into internal medicine. This is in March and April, when I was like, man, I don't want to do this. I talked to my program director, and I reached out to the NRMP, and I read like the bylaws and stuff. Well, the rule is, since you matched, it's a binding contract, and you're not allowed to apply for, interview for, accept an offer to any other program for 45 days from your start date, right? 45 days. So that's like July to mid-August, okay? You're not even allowed to, remember, interview for, apply for, accept an offer. What does that mean? Does that mean you're allowed to send an email? I don't know. I can't tell you because I'm not an attorney. My first piece of advice when people call me, people do call me because they want to transfer. Talked to someone last week, talked to someone 2 weeks before that, talked to someone a month ago. They really want to transfer. They didn't even start. And I know someone's going to call me next week and say, oh my God, I can't believe this. This program is not for me. You need to consult an attorney, okay? So that they can tell you about your specific situation. But I called the NRMP. I think I was very flustered at the time, and I called the NRMP and I asked, well, this like text says you can't apply for any other program or anything 45 days. So I asked the person I was talking to. Of course, this was me, jaded. I said, okay, well, if I want a summer job at Taco Bell, am I allowed to apply for that? And they couldn't give me a straight answer. They didn't say yes or no. What am I telling you here? It's not so clear cut. It's kind of confusing, all right? And confusion leads to these feelings of anxiety or depression or sadness or despair, or I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I'm going, how did I end up here, why did this happen to me, I should have been doing better. Okay, let's assume, and let's do what I did. That's my advice to you. Do what I did. Embrace the 45 days. Okay. In those 45 days, you're stuck. Your spot is reserved for you. Program director can't fire you. You can't leave. You can enjoy it. You can say, let me make the best of it. And that's what I did. I mean, I went in with a sincere intention. I signed a year-long lease. When I transferred, I had to break my lease. I had to pay a month worth of rent. Gone. So I did. I had good faith. I started the program in good faith. And that's what you should do. Just start the program in good faith, meaning you're going to give it your best. You're going to perform. You're going to show up, be punctual, do all the stuff, go through orientation, all the stuff, as if you're going to stay there forever, or for as long as you know the contract is 3 years or 5 years, or if you're a prelim, as if you're going to finish the entire year. You go, you reach out to your program director. You know, you're nice, you're cordial, you're kind, and what's the point of that? Is because, listen, 3 weeks in, yeah, you might get some cold feet, but it's gonna pass. And what I mean by it's gonna pass is, I was content at one point in my IM program at the 2nd month mark. And let me tell you, I transferred in October, so well past the 45 days. I transferred, actually, I started in Seattle October 22nd. So July, August, September, and then half of October, a little more than half of it, I was at my IM program. So I fulfilled the 45 days and more. Okay. And here's the advantage. There's so many advantages to the 45-day rule. Well, guess what? No one else is transferring. Unless they're dying, of course, or quitting, completely quitting, then yeah, spots are opening up. But typically, people are staying for at least 45 days. And the transfer opportunities, okay, start 2 months in, 3 months in. So right now, what you can do is, even if you have the intention of transferring, I don't know if that intention is legal because I'm not an attorney. I never had that intention, okay? Because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But even if you do have the intention of transferring, you can make the best of it. You can slow down. You can relax. You can build yourself up, okay? You can establish yourself. What did I do in the meantime? I published like crazy. I reached out to mentors. I got my letters of recommendation in order, all that stuff, because I knew I was going to reapply, obviously. So what am I saying to you? If you're feeling these July blues and you realize, you know, they shelled you into a room, the CEO of the hospital gives you a speech and you feel good. They give you a white coat, you go get a picture. Yeah, that first week, man, I'm a doctor. All right, you feel good. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, you realize, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I wanted. Listen, feel those emotions, process them. If there are specific things in your program that can be changed to accommodate your needs, you can ask about them. All right. So, hey, program director, I need a derm rotation, before ERAS is due. If they can do that for you, great. But don't ask for things that are impossible. Right? Again, I'm going to give you an example. My program director at this IM program literally said, you guys complain that there's no Starbucks here. It's like, I can't give you a Starbucks. There's a Dunkin' Donuts. Like, it's not his job as a program director of internal medicine to figure out like logistics and marketing for the hospital. The residents had a complaint. There's no window in the resident room. He's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't build you a new hospital with a new resident room. All right? You can only ask for things that can be accommodated. If you don't like your program director, you can't say, hey, change your personality for me so we can be a better fit. All right, you have to be realistic. And even when it comes to transferring, you have to be realistic. And when it comes to being sad about something, about the situation that you're in, you have to be realistic. And what do I mean by that? Is you have to actually look and evaluate and say, okay, this is not what I expected. This isn't what I wanted. It's not what I planned for. It's not what I worked towards. But can I make this work? All right. And you have to try your best for the answer, can I make this work, to be yes. This isn't just for residency. This is for life. Okay. But when you're feeling these July blues, I don't want you to make any decisions from a point, from a position of desperation, of sadness, of I don't have any hope, of man, I'm never gonna get, I'm never gonna be the type of doctor that I want to be, because at my school the year that I didn't match, 17 other people didn't match. So what does that mean? Let's say every school, there's 10 or 15 people that didn't match. I mean, it's hundreds of people. That's like 1,000 people a year or more. I don't know what the number is, but lots of people don't match. Lots of people are working jobs that they don't like. You gotta slow down. You gotta think about it. Reach out to me. You can email me, and website's gonna be launched soon because I know you guys love to click.